Hi, this is JilliBling. Today's project is all about gardening. It is focusing on the bundle Storybook patch. And it has dies along with it, and we'll use most of them today. But here's the stamp set, and here are some samples. When I make lots of samples, you know it's a lot of fun and I just get carried away. Let me show you the first one. The first one was, let's use everything on the card. And I still have to put some decoration on the inside of all of them, but I'm kind of in a time crunch today, so I thought I'll just work on the outside of it. And on the inside I have the greeting, but I want to put a little bit of decoration down here. By the time I put them on my blog, which is JilliBling.com, I'll have photos and there'll be just a little something on the inside. So I used just about everything. Well, this one I don't have the radishes on, but it's kind of a fun fold. So this is today's project. And I'm going to do one in mossy meadow background. And I also have a few samples here in boho blue because I love that color. So, oh wait, the next one was this one. And it's like maybe a little bit less stuff on the front of it. And I was trying to keep it a little bit more in line rather than everything. I have two of the pea pods, no radishes, no strawberries. They're all so cute though. 2 shovels. And again, a little bit simple on the inside. The next was this one where it's like, okay, I'm getting too much stuff on it. So this one I made a little bit more simple. I put the pick, shovel, the, what do they call it? Pitchfork back here. And again, it's the same fold. Not much on the inside. Happy birthday. But this one, I like it. Much calmer, really cute. And then finally this one where I thought maybe a little bit more stuff, but see how it's a little bit more consistent? Carrot, 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 strawberries, and then a little bit of extra stuff. So I'm going to try to keep it a little bit calmer today. I want to do the cabbage. So there's cabbage. Okay, so when you have more than one cabbage, is it cabbages or does it just remain cabbage? I want to do cabbages and a little bit of other stuff. Okay, so that's the plan. Storybook Garden Patch. Cute stuff. Mixed labels for the banner. Use the banner on this one for a great friend. And that's from this set. And this is a bundle too. And Simply Said, because it has great words in it. Kindest Expressions, which is the one that I did, the big one on the inside. And I love how that turned out. I think I want to use today Sending Sunshine and Rainbows. Isn't that perfect for gardening? And then of course dies, Storybook Garden, and I'll be using all the dies except for these 3. Mixed labels is for the banner word label. Stylish shapes are for the 2 flagged word labels. Stitch So Sweetly is old, but it's great, and I just can't get rid of that. And that's for a little scalloped rectangle. So you could use any words, any labels you have. Okay, you ready? Okay, so here we are. So papers, embossing folders. This is the paper. It all started out with a package of paper, and it's called Timeless Plaid, and it has all kinds of colors that coordinate with it. It's wonderful. So we'll be using this piece right here. But as you can see from the samples, it doesn't matter which one you use. They all work, and they all have a little bit of a different feel to them, which I think is kind of fun. Okay, so let's get started with the base paper. Then we'll layer up some of these other pieces, and then we'll get to decorating. So, where is that? And in the video description, are all the paper cut sizes, and there's a link that says here are the products used, and feel free to, if you want to recreate this, it has everything you need. Oh. Well, now you're going to know how it really starts. It really starts with a scratch piece of paper. It's like, well, I wanted to fold about here and about there, and then I put my measurements on it. So, because I don't have the score lines written down, we will just rely on the original. Okay, so the paper is 5.5 by 8.5, and we are going to score it at 1 1/4. Can you see there? Yeah. Okay, 1 1/4, 2.5, 4 1/4, and 5.5. And if you're really particular about your score lines going all the way through when they shouldn't, for example, when I turn this over, you could see all the score lines we just did. You notice how this one is covered up with this front panel. If it bugs you, you can figure out to score just like part of the way using measurements. But I think it's fine that there's little extra score lines. For instance, this one, we're not using that score line right here on this part of the card, but it's covered up with these panels. And these panels also make it a bit rigid. Okay, so we did the scoring. Now we're going to do the cutting. The cutting is always 1 1/4 inch in. So looking at my ruler, it's right here. And you go from score line number 1 to score line number 4. 1 1/4. And I'm looking right up here. Get my cutter out. Now I'm looking at the score line right here. Get it to right there. And then go up to the top one. And if you happen to do it a little bit too much, like I did there, you're going to have it so decorated, so many different panels on it, that it won't be a problem. Okay, so 1 1/4. I'm looking right up here. And hold on. See, I ate a granola bar, and I shouldn't eat peanuts. But if you've watched videos before, you know I always do. It just makes me cough, just like a tickle, every single time. Do I stop eating peanuts? No. I eat peanut butter? Yeah. Okay, we're done scoring. Oh my gosh, it's such a mess here. Okay, so this part goes down, this part goes up. You see I'm just kind of softly folding them. This is going to stay flat, that part goes down. And how it goes. There we go. So see if you could see that. That doesn't show you anything. Well, just know that this is the front panel. Then it dips down. Just think this is where the pitchfork is right on here. And even if you do fold it wrong, we're going to decorate it so much you won't know. Well, you might choose to decorate it so much. It'll be interesting. This is a class project. It'll be interesting to see what everyone does. If everyone is like I am, oh, one of each, let's do it. Okay, so these are for stamping. We'll set those off to the side for right now. This piece and this piece are going to get layered right onto here. I could do that. Oops, it's been a few minutes, a few hours. Okay, so I am on a mission to get this done today. And I was thinking before noon, but it's 2:15. It's because I did all that coloring. It's just hard sometimes to not. Oh, you know what? Let me choose a different paper. Oh, this one's good. Because Emma's coming, and Monday I'm working on a big project here at home. And Aunt Joanne from Long Island is it Long Island? Long Beach, California. She's here visiting, and Mama she called and she says, hey, we keep talking about your place. Can we stop by? I'll continue with that story. So this die right here is, as my husband would say, this is the shiznit. This die cuts just the top edge, and then see these little indents? Those cut. Down here, nothing cuts. I think it's better if I just show you. So this is going to be the dirt. So I'm having it hang off a little bit right over here. Kind of get it straight. If it's not perfectly straight, we'll just decorate over the top. Okay, cut that out. Okay, so do you see what it did? It just cut the top part, and these little slits, you could put shovels, carrots, radishes, the pitchfork, whatever you want into those little slits, or nothing. They could just look like little mounds of dirt. Then to get the next little grouping, I'm taking this corner of the die. See, now it's kind of wedged in there. Move it in a little bit. Try to get it parallel. Run that through. Look at that. And yes, I do have a little bit of a slit right here that I'm not too happy about, but very easy to cover up. Okay, so that looks great. Crumb cake paper, great. Okay, to make it look like dirt, I'm going to use an embossing folder, and I'm going to texture it. So the embossing folder I'm using is called birch wood, and I'm avoiding these little knots just because that doesn't really look like dirt. Put this in, run it through, and have texture on it. Okay, there it is. Their little slits for things coming up out of the ground. Okay, so let's get back to the card. It's going to go on here, but I want a little espresso layer. So when you look on here, see how there's that espresso layer? So I'm going to put the espresso layer on now. Might as well do these too. Well, let's first stand task. Espresso, and I'm purposely using liquid glue because when liquid glue dries, it dries kind of rigid. And for this card, I think it's a good thing. So keep in mind, I've got the designer paper on, and I have this espresso layer on. But see how the card, sometimes cards are a little bit flimsy. After we get done decorating this card using liquid glue, this thing, you could put a plate on it. This could be dinner time. I mean, it will hold, what is the one? The really cheap plates, and people are holding the thing of spaghetti, and then they goes, these are not it. These are Chinette. Okay, carry on. Okay, so now it's time to put this crumb cake piece of paper on here. You're like, well, it's the right width, but it's too tall. So I am going to trim it, and I would have it trimmed in advance and have the measurement perfectly in advance, but it depends on where you put your little cutouts. Because see this one, how I have it about 1/8 of an inch that I'm cutting off. But if you were to drop it down a little bit lower or have it up higher, in the end you'd need to trim it, so it's just bigger than what's needed, which is good. Okay, so let's trim it. So looking at the card, and here's my little espresso border on the designer paper, I'm thinking right about here would be nice. And if I want the espresso paper to show, it's not rocket science. See how there's just a little dot? So now I'm going to use my trimmer, and I'm going to trim off right above my pen line, straight across. line is gone. Okay, so before I stick it in, I'm going to decorate this piece. So let's work on these side panels, because see right now how it's kind of naked looking. So let's decorate them. And on all the samples, I used different embossing folders. This one I used timber. This one I used exposed brick. So this is for the gardener in New York City. And you know how they have those gardeners up on the rooftop? Oh, what fun. This is a card for them. Don't tell anyone, but these bricks are indented. These bricks are outdented. Oops, it's stuck down now. This one, I use the same embossing folder for here, the birch. This one is kind of calm. I kind of like that. Well, I like all of them. And then this one is, I think it's called Dashing Design. But just any embossing folder you have. I was going to use the fern one. But then it's like, oh, that's too many choices. Okay, so I'm going to take these papers, put them into here, and emboss them. Okay, so these can attach. Okay, so back to the story. So Aunt Joanne is here visiting, and I guess she has plans for every day. Mom and Bill are taking her over to see Guy and Rose, and then they're taking her to the gardens. What are the gardens? Shore Acres. So I'm looking at the pattern of this. It looks like I have it going this direction. Because you know, there's like the tree rings. Do you want the tree rings going up or down? Here they're going up, therefore here they're going up. But you know how Tony just had the knee replacement, and he's back to work already. But he was showing her out in the yard. He calls it the aqueduct, and it is a natural creek. And it does get to roaring and ripping on through there. But he's been lining it with rock, and it does look really good. So he was showing her all about that and talking about that. And he had like a little video from one of the last heavy rainfalls, and it is really cool. So I think she's going to come over and look at that. Anyhow, I had to clean house, and Emma's coming. I always like to clean house before Emma comes, especially the bathrooms. And I was supposed to have a picture. She's going to sleep in, it's kind of like her new room. It's a room that she shares with Warren. And we got a Murphy library bed, and it is done. She's going to sleep in it for the first time. Words. Let's do this die doing Thinking of You. So she'll get to pull the bed down, slide the doors, the library doors, pull the bed down, and get a good night's sleep next to a crib. And Warren will be coming tomorrow morning, and she just gobbles that up. Okay, Thinking of You. Isn't that nice? It's just kind of really basic. Here it is, and I think I want to put it up here. Don't I have one? Oh, the simple one. Oh, this one. Oh, Happy Day. I want to do the big stamping on the inside. Do we have that paper? Well, I thought I had the papers ready. Okay. Because I have a pile of a mess over there, and they're in the middle of the pile. Okay, I want to do that big, the rainbows one, the stamp. You know. Here we go. Sending sunshine and rainbows. Does it fit? Yeah. Oh, okay. So the library, Warren's room, Emma's room, 3 things in one. Yeah, let me redo that. So one thing leads to another. First we called it the beautiful room, because when Evan moved out, he's like, I get to do a room the way I want to do a room. So I made it beautiful. So we refer to it as the beautiful room. Okay. And then measuring for the library bed. This side's better. One room was like 2 inches bigger than the other, which was the back bedroom. So it's like, okay, the beautiful room needs to move to the front, and the library, Warren's room, is going to move to the back. Okay. But then it's like, we need to do some repainting here. Okay, so before we do the switch, let's repaint this room, because Emma painted it. We told them when we moved here, you can have any bedroom furniture you want, and you could paint it any color you want. And she painted it a charcoal gray, which is kind of cool, kind of dark. So then we went and picked out a new color, and it's called Gray Owl. And it's in between soft seafoam and granite gray. Closer to granite gray, gray granite. Really nice. So then, before we set up the bed, Tony goes, well, I have to do some touch-up. Oh, I don't have any of that old paint. And I said, well, and I just said this like matter-of-factly, well, I want to repaint the whole house. He's like, are you kidding? And I'm like, no, because I like that other color. I like the owl, the gray owl color. He's like, oh my gosh, okay. So before it went up, he painted that whole one wall. Okay, that's great. But then he has to paint the other walls. And it turned into, let's paint the whole house. And he's been on it. I mean, when does a honey do that? Usually it's like, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll just do what I have to do. But I'd say about half of the house in just a few days has been painted, and it looks so good. It kind of smells, but it looks so good. So we're going to see that too. Emma hasn't seen the new paint. Nobody's seen the new paint. And I know I said I would take a picture of Warren's room, which is just so cute. It's the same nursery stuff from Emma and Evan when they were babies. I kept it. Oops, someone's here. And hi there. Look what Lovey brought me. Do you know how good this is? It has an orange straw. Okay, back on task. Oh, that's good. This, I pulled it out of the die a little bit vigorously, and I see it's kind of doing the wave thing. How about, for right now, that can weight it down. Okay, so let's do some decorations for the card. Some of the vegetables. And I have a little bit of a plan. And keep in mind that all of the items, there's a die cut for everything. So in the thinking about time, I have this picked out, and it's kind of laid out right where it's going to go. So I did a little bit of the coloring, and then this could be for the inside. Okay. So to do the coloring, and I have a cheat sheet, just because if you try to recreate, if you do one card and then you're like, okay, I'm going to do another card using the radish, you're like, oh, what color? So I have my cheat sheet. I'll take a picture of this too. So the cabbage is going to be, and I even did it alphabetically, Seafoam and Mossy Light. So that's here. So I'm saving a little bit of the coloring, not all of it. And I'm going to start out with light, do the whole thing. And light. And then I'm going to put a few of the shadows in using Mossy Meadow light, and then soften it up with Seafoam dark. Okay, so this is just plain coloring, and I'm trying to get 2 layers of color. And I'll hold it up. So this is Mossy Light. So wherever there might be shadows, or where it comes out from the core of the vegetable, I'm doing just a hint of Mossy Light. And because the soft Seafoam light that I colored all over is still a little bit wet, it's already kind of blending, which is nice. But I'll make sure it's all the way blended with the Seafoam dark. But see how I'm just doing little touches of color? Okay, one more spot, and then that's enough. Okay, and then, ooh, dark Seafoam. So I'm just doing like a stripe to soften the Mossy Meadow and make it look a little bit more blended to the Seafoam. Tony's so sweet, bringing me that coffee. It's after 2 o'clock. It has 9 shots of espresso in it. No, this one has 6 shots. So I can't have it too much longer, otherwise I won't sleep tonight. So for family dinner, we're going out. Emma found a restaurant that has good vegan options. So we're going to go out to Cornucopia and take Aunt Joanne, and Maureen is coming. And of course, we call Evan and Michaela McVan for Evan, Michaela McVan, and Warren. So that one's colored. So it's going to be good. Oh, look how green this is. Everything is kind of green. So this one is for right down here. Okay, that's done. So the radish, I have cherry, light and dark, and real red and olive. Cherry, light and dark. What did I say? Olive? Olive, 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 olive. I love you. I love olive. And real red. Okay, radish. It's a lot of colors for one little thing. Okay. So, just a little bit of cherry dark. Like this is a ripe radish. It is ready to go. Sometimes they're a little bit closer to pink. Okay, and then after that, the other ones, I'm just going to color on my tabletop so it'll go a little quicker. And real red, white, just for kind of like a highlight. Blend it in. Okay. And the greenery is olive. So I'll start out with, I have to keep my little layout here. Otherwise it's confusing. I have a plan. Okay, so olive. Is that what color I did the radishes? Do I have radishes on here? 1, 2, 3. There's a radish. Yeah, that's olive. Can you see that one? That's the plan. Okay. Olive. So it's kind of exciting that the whole house is being painted on the inside. And before, when we moved here, when I moved here, like 10 years ago, I went to Pottery Barn and they had Sherwin-Williams color paint. And I had a girl from Pottery Barn, which is where I got this little colors that you should do your house. She's like, oh yeah, do all 3 colors. They're all kind of neutral. So I did. Like lots of walls are different colors, but it's all of these 3 and they're all kind of neutral. So changing it all to gray owl is just really nice. It's very calming. And one of the colors from Sherwin-Williams was like a dark color, maybe kind of like, not mossy, maybe mossy light. And it's so nice to go over it. Oh, and then the laundry room, don't ask me why, but I wanted it blue. And it came out of the can a little bit brighter than I thought. So it's, I'm thinking about Stampin' Up! Colors. It's not balmy. Maybe it's like a deep pool party color. But it's just too dark. But it's so nice now. Loving it. Okay, so radish is done. Radish I think goes here. Those are inside. Let's do carrot. Carrot is probably pumpkin pie, because that's logical. Pumpkin pie, carrot, and spruce. Yes, rich green leaves. Okay, so, and wait till you see putting these in the little slots. I don't know why, it thrills me. This is a fun bundle. And it's it's part of the product suite with the Storybook Friends, like the Beatrice Potter type one. And they coordinate together. The designer papers have gardening on them and the Storybook Friends. But it's fine to do the gardening all by itself, I think. Okay, so color this in, starting with the light, and then I'm fine if it dries, and I'll go back and I'll put some dark areas in. If I wanted it to really blend like the carrot, I would do them one after another kind of quick, even if I had to break it up into parts. But I'm fine if the green shaded spruce dark isn't blended. And I'll have all the pictures, so if you're like, okay, I want to do it just like that, there'll be a picture, and you can look at the still picture of it. I think you can even click on it, and then right click on it, and you could copy it, and you could save it, and then you could really, really copy it, if you want to. I'd say just go for it, because it's almost impossible to do wrong with this. It's just a lot of fun. I guess now I know why I'm behind today, because doing the coloring, it takes a little bit of time. We're almost there though. Okay, so spruce dark just for the center of the leaves. And then kind of if one leaf is covering another, just where it might have a shadow. That's all. That's all. Okay, that one is done. This one goes right here. Okay, so the pitchfork. Pitchfork is crumb cake and pebbled path. So, did you know the new catalog will be coming soon? And pebbled path, which is one of my all-time favorites, is going away. This color. And boho is going away. Boo-hoo. New colors are coming in. kind of bright. So change is good, right? I think there's going to be a lot of online exclusive type stuff. Because the catalog, I think the catalog, just my first glance or two, is more great for scrappers. And there are maybe a few bundles in there. But I might be relying on online exclusives. Pitchfork. And on some of the samples, I did the pitchfork, and I cut out between the, are those called tines? I know that's what they call them on a fork. Just for a little bit more interest. See these? How they're cut out separately, even though the die doesn't cut them out separately. This one, they're cut out. This one, I left them together. Probably because it's in the background, I'll leave them together. Okay, Pebble Path Dark for a little bit of interest, detail, shadowing. And I'm just choosing one side to say, okay, that's the shadow side. Okay, so we're done with the front. We'll color these in just a minute. Let's decorate the front. Okay, so it goes on here. This one, I think, was on that side. So I'll put that on, a little glue, then some little dimensionals. That could go right here. Should be straight up and down or at an angle? I'll do straight up and down. What did I do on the other one? That one's at an angle. No wrong. Whatever you do is good. I like how it comes up into the espresso border. So you could say, yep, there's something there. Okay, so to decorate this, I'll put the pot, glue at the bottom, dimensionals at the top, the watering can, there, here, and conveniently I have a half dimensional right there. Okay, so that can go. Well, I have only one thing going in the ground and I have 2 slots, so I'll purposely have the watering can cover up one of the slots. Okay, so the radish is going to go here. So I'll put a little glue where the top of the radish goes and the bottom of the radish, just to set into place. It's colored so cute, I don't want to cover it up. Well, okay, and then a cabbage will go right here. I'll put that on after I get this crumb cake die cut piece on the espresso. And I could do these 2. So that's for the carrot and the shovel. Carrot, shovel. Carrot. All these are going straight up and down. Okay, this one could go angled. Shovel. Okay, this is ready to stick to the front of the card. So for now, just because I'm not sure how high up that espresso band goes. I'm putting glue here at the bottom. And then, I know it's going to cover up this high. And I want to put a little bit of glue on here to bridge this score line. So when I look at all of these, see how the mound of dirt, the inside, the mound of dirt covers up the designer paper? So I'll put a little bit right up here, because I know that will go on the designer paper. Okay, this is ready to attach. There, there. Isn't that nice? I love all these colors together. Okay, so stick in. Okay, so now for these cabbage. Look how cute they came out. They look so realistic. So these can be on dimensionals. The one by the watering can. I could go right here. I don't want to cover up too much of it. It's really cute. Okay, well, it's bigger than I thought. Okay, so where it'll go. So this one will be glued. This one will be half glued. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll have the bottom of all of them glued and the top of all of them dimensionaled. So they're kind of like, hey, I'm ready to pick. Okay, start with the bottom one. Glue at the bottom. Dimensional at the top. And same process. This one is next. Oop, that's dimensional, just showing. Okay, this one is now my favorite card. Okay, dimensionals at the top. And glue at the bottom. I hope I did that right. Yeah. Right about there. Okay. So that is done. I kind of think it needs some linen thread or something. See, that's popping up. That can have a half a dimensional, whole dimensional. For the shovel, half a dimensional. Okay. We'll save that one because you never know. Okay, so there is the front. So for the inside, it is the watering can and the shovel. Right about there. Okay, I have extra pieces. Any more cabbage? Nope. I could do the, how's the basket? Nope. How are the pots? That's better, huh? Should just be just the shovel. Let's do just the shovel. It has radishes on it. I could have a radish like it's been picked. Well, that's cute. Okay, that's it for the inside. So, to color a radish, cherry, red, light, and olive. All right here. Okay. Olive, light, ooh, you know how the other radish, it was such a shame to put it into the mound of dirt? Well, now that this one is picked, it gets to be seen. Because it turned out, the coloring turned out good. There's olive. Then olive dark, just for the leaf veins. Okay. Then the radish is cherry dark. Cherry light, leaving a little room for real red light. That takes a little blending because those colors are really different. Okay. See, look how nice that's going to be on the inside. Okay, so done with that. Now the shovel is granite and clay. Granite, clay. So the top is clay light. Shadows, clay dark. Then, with that little hole, that would be cute with linen thread. I think linen thread somehow I'm going to get that in here. Granite gray, gray granite, light. Maybe I can have the radish next to the shovel, like saying, yes, this was just picked. I don't know if they'd both fit, because those words are kind of big. Okay. Nope. They could be separate. So, my latest thing, don't know why, is dimensionals on the inside. So, there's that. There's a part, that little partial. Well, I might need that. And then glue on the tip. Where's that little part? Right there. On the handle. Okay, so that is it. What do you think? I love this project. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.